Hi there, Tad Hargrave from Marketing for Hippies, and very excited about today's video because this is something I've been talking about in workshops for a long time and with clients one-on-one. I just realized in a session, one of my puttering sessions today with a client, that I've never made a video about it. So this is the 3 things that people need when they're in pain. And the first thing that people need when they're in pain is empathy. Just somebody to say, I get it, I understand, it's hard, that's the most important thing, and empathy is healing in its own way. Especially if you're a life coach or in the healing arts, sometimes that's the whole thing, is somebody just feeling heard, gotten, understood. That's sometimes 90% of what people are needing and looking for, is just someone who gets it and isn't trying to change them. Second thing that people need is context. This is a big one. This is, why am I suffering? It's one thing to say, well, let me say this. I think pain is bearable. I don't think pain is the big deal. It's not good. I mean, it's hard. I passed some gallstones years ago, and that was excruciating. I think 3 or 4 times it happened. I didn't realize at the time that was what was going on, but that was very painful. That was, almost unbearable. But you can get through pain. You can deal with that. Here's the thing that takes it over the edge, is you have no idea what the pain is about. Because then your mind can start to make up a lot of stories about it. But, so I'll give some examples of this, though. Why do I keep dating the same guy? You know what I'm saying? It's not the pain of the shitty relationships. That's painful enough. The thing that pushes it over the edge is you don't know why you keep dating them. I'm broke again. Why am I broke again? I thought I was doing everything right, and now, what is this health situation about? I have these symptoms, and I've done everything I can think of, and the symptoms are still there. It's so disheartening. It's so crushing. People just give up because they have no context. They have no understanding of why those problems are there in the first place. I often say your ideal client is on island A, where they've got some problems, some symptoms they don't like. They want to be on island B, where there's some results that they're craving. And your business is like a boat that can take them from one island to the other. Now, it's very painful to not know why you're on island A. Why are you stuck here, Why can't you get off this island? Not having the context is very painful. The third thing people need is guidance. Not just, here's generally what's going on, and here's what's happening underneath the hood of your car. Yes, you're hearing some noises. There's some symptoms. But here's what you do about it. Because it's one thing to say, well, your carburetor's broken. Okay, well, great. Now we know generally what to do, but what exactly do I do now? So empathy, context, guidance, those 3 in that order. If you take any one of them out, it doesn't work. No empathy, but just context and guidance. This is a lot of unasked for advice, or advice given in a very heavy-handed way that is very hard to receive, very brutal, very too much tough love. And then if you take out the context, just empathy and guidance, this is so much of marketing that's almost there, saying, hey, do you have this problem? Hey, I understand, it's really painful. Well, here's what you should do. The challenge is you haven't made a case for why to do it that way. You haven't, you've given your prescription but no diagnosis, and if they don't trust your diagnosis, they won't trust your prescription. Yeah, I think I did a whole video about that. So, diagnose, prescription. Right, so if you have empathy and guidance but no context, you're saying do something, but you're not making a case for the approach, and they're less likely to do it. They're less likely to be compliant, is the medical terminology, when you give people advice and they don't take it. But why don't they take it? Because you probably haven't made the case. You haven't given them enough context to justify all the effort that's going to need to go into it. Then if you have the empathy and the context but no guidance, well, now you've given people a general lay of the land, and they feel pretty lost, maybe a little overwhelmed because they don't know exactly what to do. So empathy, context, guidance. These are the 3 things people need when they're in pain. So we start with the empathy. We start with, boy, that sounds awful. My God, how is that for you? And just listening. And in sales, in sales copy, this just takes the form of you articulating what it's like to be them, so that when they read it, they say, oh, this person gets it. Yep. You don't need to beat them over the head with it. You don't need to belabor it. You don't need to go over and over and over. spend pages on it. Sometimes just a few sentences, just they know, oh, this person understands what it's like. Then the context. Okay, you're on Island A. Let me make the case for why you can't get off the island. Let me help you understand what is underlying the anxiety that you feel. Let me help you understand why you're still single after all these years, or why you're still stuck in this marriage. Here's what's going on. Here are the elements and the factors at play that keep you stuck there. And then, then the guidance. Here's exactly what I think you should do. And of course, this is what people pay us for, is the guidance. What should I do? It's the worst. You go sign up for a workshop and you're all excited to get some guidance and advice, and they say, well, here's some of the elements at play, but you just got to trust your gut. Oh man, why did I pay so much money? So empathy, context, guidance. When people are in pain, make sure all three of those are appearing and you're not leaving anyone out. The context piece, by the way, I wrote an ebook, shameless plug, called Point of View Marketing, and that's all about establishing this context. Around the empathy piece, there's an ebook I wrote called The Art of Relevance, which is all about how you articulate this Island A and Island B for people in such a way that they would really feel seen and gotten. And I guess Point of View Marketing also goes into the guidance piece. But those are two ebooks. If this resonates with you, you want to check out some more, you can check out. I think that's it. I hope this was useful for you. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to put them below. Thanks.